The other day I was with a customer and it was a seller I had, and I was with them. We were in the transaction. We had the home listed. There were some showings taking place, and at this point, I had the rapport with them was built up. These were customers that I had never met before, and they had called me one day for a listing appointment, met with them, and they liked what I had to show them, and we listed the home. So at this point, like I guess it's a few weeks after the home was listed, I said, how come when you hired me, you didn't interview other agents? And they told me, actually, we sort of did. And I said, so what does that mean? What does sort of did mean? And they said, actually, there were about three agents that we were thinking about hiring or interviewing, I guess is a better way. And but what happened is, and this is what happens when I'm going to change subject slightly just so you can get a better understanding of what I'm about to say. So imagine that you are, whatever market you're in, say you're not in New York, you have a friend who's not a real estate agent who's in New York, and she's at a party, she's at a company event or whatever it is. And she's speaking to someone that she meets at the party or a friend of hers, and they say that they have a house in your market. So they're in New York, but the house is, they have a second home in your market, whichever market you're at. And your friend the whole night tells them how great you are. They're like, hey, you got to use so-and-so. They're a great agent. They'll do a really good job for you and you'll be so happy. And they keep praising you for the whole night. So what's going to happen is before that person calls you, one of two things is going to happen. And basically what they're going to do is, I guess it's one of one things is going to happen. They're going to Google you. They're going to get your name and they're going to Google you before the second thing is before they call you. And when they Google you, one of two things is going to happen. One is they're going to see a ton of information and they're going to feel connected with you and they're going to feel good about making that call. And the second thing is they're going to go online, they're going to Google you, they're not going to find much stuff, they're not going to really connect with you, you're sort of a ghost, and they're going to feel a little uncomfortable calling you. They're going to be thinking if you're the right person to call, and they already promised your friend that they would call. And at that time, if there's nothing online about you, or maybe just a few sales, which are usually wrong because they're missing sales, they're going to feel sort of awkward calling you, and their decision to call you isn't going to be as powerful as if you had anything online. So back to my story about the seller I had. So when I asked them if they had interviewed other agents, they had mentioned that they were thinking about two or three other agents besides me. But what happened is they told me they Googled them and then they Googled me. And because we create content, the team and I, and we're consistently trying to create content that is consumer focused, where they get to know us and basically get to know the team, get to know us, show some real estate, but basically think of us as humans and not just real estate agents. Because of that, that person said, you know what, after I did the Google search, I had no reason to interview them. I knew that you guys were the ones that I wanted to hire. So I wanted to share my screen with you for a sec and show you a couple things. So the first thing is, let me go back. I guess I need to share my screen before I do it. So let's do the share the screen. Let's go to Google and let's press share. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is you want to Google yourself. And when you Google yourself, you want to go, if you're using Google Chrome, go to the incognito. If it's Safari or another browser, go to a private browser. The reason you want to do that is you want to see how it would look if a consumer is Googling you. So I'm going to Google my name. Since my name isn't very common, I'm going to just Google my name and that's it. If you have a common name, maybe put your name and then real estate, maybe your market. So I'm just going to do this. If someone were to Google me, this is what they're going to find. So first of all, they find my Compass site. They're going to find my website. They're going to find a bunch of videos, a video of my wife and me, the team and I, some more videos about local spots in Miami Beach. There, a podcast when I was on this American Dream show, just different things about me. They're going to find some reviews. So they found one Google review. They found 78 Facebook reviews. They're going to have some other information. My LinkedIn profile. So let me open up my LinkedIn. I'm not going to do that because then I got to log in and all that. But I have, I think, like 16,000 people on LinkedIn. So if they click on that, because LinkedIn usually does well with SEO, search engine optimization results, it's going to go high on the list. So make sure your LinkedIn is pretty good. Realtor.com, Instagram, my Instagram. So if I click on my Instagram, I don't think I have to log in. Hopefully I don't. If I do, then I do. So close this. So you could see my LinkedIn, my Instagram. You could see some videos, some other stuff. If you go back, you're going to see an article about me from another site, and Zillow, which is probably wrong. I need to add a bunch of sales there. My Vimeo, Upnest, Pinterest, Medium, some articles I wrote on Medium. So on Medium, if they go there, they will see this was my most memorable real estate moment of 2019. Just some failures that I've had. Another thing, I used to suffer from depression, and I was suicidal, and I thought it was good to write an article so people get to know me. And I guess my whole point is this. I'm trying to show you that there are multiple facets of each of us. We are, sorry, I went too far back. There's so much to tell about us as humans and not just real estate, because I know this, even though the team and we do okay, there are other agents. If it just shows my sales and if they're incomplete, or even if they aren't complete, whichever, depending on the site you go on, I know there's always going to be someone better in my city or in my area that sells more properties than me, the team, and all of us. I'm going to stop sharing this. So what I'm trying to tell you is I'm going to share with you in future videos things to create content, ways to create content where you become a human being, where there's authenticity, where people get to like you and they want to hire you because of that. And by leaving off, the last thing I'm going to say is Google yourself, do this exercise, see where you stand. And a lot of times when you don't have too much content and you Google yourself, a lot of the stuff that shows up is stuff that you don't want to show up. So I'm excited with this journey with you, with sharing all these things. The team and we've been talking about this a lot. And until next time, take care. Love you guys. See ya.